Hello everyone, this is Karthik Selvaraj, and in this video tutorial series we will be seeing about data power development and administration. So this first video will be an introduction about data power appliance and a brief history of all the devices available in the data power family. So let's move on to the next slide. So the first question is why we need an appliance. So by definition, an appliance is nothing but a device, or it can be a piece of equipment designed to perform a specific task alone. So in our context, we have data power appliance, which is built to help us build a SOA infrastructure or web services or integration flows. And we can also do this development and deployment in a controlled manner, and the development can be done in just a few clicks or just by doing a few configurations. Okay, so I have listed down the main features why an appliance is required. So the first one would be robust and purpose built. So data power is a purpose built only to do or help us to build an SOA infrastructure. Even if we have a huge number of web services in a single appliance, it works very fine without breaking. So I haven't worked on any other SOA appliance, but Datapower is really robust in that way. It never gets restarted so frequently. So the next point would be highly secure. So I want to just combine the second point and the fifth point, low total cost of ownership. So if you want to go for a software rather than an appliance, you will end up in getting a server which should be of a very good configuration to install the software. And to secure from each threat, you have to buy or you have to install a different variety of software suites to prevent that particular attack. So maybe for an XML attack, you need to have a particular software which is best at it, and similarly you need to have different softwares installed to get that secured. And also the server running might be in some OS, so the OS might be upgraded and you have to do a upgrade on your server, which may directly or indirectly affect your SOA infrastructure. So to just go away from all these headaches, maybe we should be going for an appliance in which they provide a highly secured layer, and even if they are having a new kind of thread, they introduce a patch for that. In the firmware upgrade, they provide at a regular interval. So this also ultimately reduces the cost of your ownership. So instead of buying a server and getting all the software licenses, you can go for a single appliance which will do your job very well rather than going for a software. So that is one of the major features of going for an appliance. So the third point is high performance. So as data power appliance is a purpose built appliance, the performance is superior to those of the ESP softwares installed in a server. So in case if you think that your load is going to be more in your infrastructure, you can just add the number of appliance in your infrastructure so that the load is distributed among the appliance. So this also brings us to another feature which is called scalability. You can easily scale the number of appliances that you need for your infrastructure at any time, and it is going to be very easy for you to configure it as well. So the last point would be the single point of management. So as we have a single appliance or a group of appliance, it makes us easy to manage all the web services or the integration flows that we have, rather than if we have a software installed in multiple servers, we could have a hard time managing all those things. So having an appliance eases that work. So next we can see about the competitors for data power appliance. So I'll just move on to the next slide. So I did a little bit of googling to understand who are the competitors for data power SOA appliance, and I came to know that we have two major competitors. So one is Intel SOA Expressway and the other one is Layer 7's Secure Span XML appliance. But I couldn't find much information about these two appliances. But as of now, you can just have that Datapower is not only the player which we have in the appliance category, so we have two more players as well doing the same kind of job. So let me move on to the next slide. So the current Datapower appliance is named as Datapower Gateway. Prior to that, there were different kinds of appliance. We had XA35, we had XS40, we had a whole lot of appliance. Okay, and the current firmware version that we have is 7.5. So firmware is the software version for Datapower appliance. Okay, so these are the some of the, not the some of the, all the appliance that we had in Datapower family previously, but now it comes as in a single box. So if you need some functionality, you can buy the license and get that enabled. So that is how it works. We don't have a separate box doing each thing like XI50 or XB60. We only have a single appliance called Datapower Gateway, through which you can have all the functionalities, and each functionality will be costing a separate license cost. Okay, so the first appliance is XA35. So the A stands for accelerator. So it has only a limited functionality that it can do. It can just speed up the transformation of XML messages. Okay, next we had XS40. So on top of XA35, they had a few security layers built which secured the DMZ layer or demilitarized zone. I will just let you know about this demilitarized zone concept later in this tutorial. Okay, then we had some other features added to it in the form of XI50. So the I stands for integrator. So XI50 had a upgraded version called XI52, which had a much more better processing RAM. Okay, so the performance of XI52 was better than XI50. Okay, then we have a business appliance, B2B appliance XB60, in which you can handle B2B protocols like AS2 and AS3. Okay, so similar to XI50 and 52, we have XB60 and 62 as well. So XB62 is the upgraded version of XB60. And finally we have the low latency Datapower appliance XM70. So M stands for messaging. So if you need to have your messages passed at a very high speed, then this could be your best appliance. But now IBM doesn't release it in a different appliance like we have in the past. So now we have only the Datapower Gateway appliance. So this ends a brief introduction about Datapower appliance. In the next video, we will be just logging into the Datapower appliance and we will be creating a new user in the Datapower appliance. And thanks for watching this video. Happy learning.